All right, we are live. So, guys, welcome to the podcast. I've got Moon Thomas. This girl's personality has already got me excited today. Huge thanks to Johnny Nidafin for the referral to get you on here. I absolutely love your energy already, and I've known you for about 3 minutes now. So let's get this thing kicked off. You say?
Well,
So
online, that's like a lifetime.
absolutely. So, Moon, where are you
Yeah.
from?
Initially upstate New York, but I'm an army brat, so we've lived everywhere. I actually graduated high school in Germany.
Graduated high school in Germany. What was that like?
It was amazing. Actually, I really do appreciate that time that I lived overseas. I feel like it has helped me to be more of a people person, more well-rounded, because I've been used to different cultures, different types of people. Nothing kind of surprises me anymore. Like when I just meet people, it's like I just kind of take it for who they are and just kind of dive in with that.
That's awesome. And did you see, like, just out of my own personal curiosity, because, like, full transparency, I make these videos 100% for me to go back and watch. So I am a selfish person, but it tends to come off as selfless to other people. So as long as it helps them, awesome.
Okay.
But what do you see as a main difference between like an American school and a like a German school?
Well, I mean, that's a big difference. I mean, as far as the culture is concerned, now I didn't go to a German school. I did live on a base, went to an American school, but it was right in the middle
Gosh, okay.
of right about an hour or so from Frankfurt, and it's called Bootsbach. I don't even know if it's still around anymore. When I graduated, it only was about 30 people in my class because all of our dads were deployed or people were being sent back to Saudi Arabia. So that's how long ago that was.
Okay.
That's how long
And
ago that was. But it's an amazing experience. Everybody that I went to school with, it was more like a family, tight knit family. And we had a unique experience. Our parent or mostly our dads were deployed or in the field. So we kind of stuck together, and the moms and all of the I played basketball, so I got to travel to a lot of different well, I don't say cities, countries, and different places around the world, really. So it was amazing. I would not have traded it for anything.
yeah, that's incredible. And do you notice any like huge cultural differences between Germany and America?
Yeah, I just think, just in general, I think they're more of a minimalist society. They don't have like really huge, I never seen them have these really huge houses or really big, big cars. I mean, they kind of conserve more. I think that's the biggest difference to me. It's like less is more to them. And, I think people are maybe shifting their minds now because we're in a recession to a certain extent. Like we are probably starting to become more conservative, but I mean, I feel like they've always been that way. Especially years ago when I lived there.
That's incredible.
Mhm.
So I'll talk about this just for a minute. But what was your experience like on the Ultimate Agent? And then we'll move on to another topic. But what did that kind of do for you? And what was the experience like?
Oh man, it has done everything for me. I just feel like I literally was selected to be on that show to be discovered. I think I got
You were the one freaking out, weren't you?
I was freaking
Like,
out.
ah!
I still freak out when I think about it. It's like I really manifested being able to get on there. I mean, I started to really see myself on the show. Like I really envisioned that. And just to be able to be part of 5 people selected from I don't know how many entries. That right there, that's like a once in a million, type chance that you can ever get. No one can duplicate that. So I feel very blessed that I was selected. The show taught me so much about myself, so much about just jumping out there, just going for whatever you want. And so I really believe it was bigger than a contest for me. Definitely. It was more of a, kind of like a second chance, a new start in my life. I started my entire life right over at that contest because I quit my job I quit my job. I wrote my resignation letter on the flight going to Missouri, and I just threw up the deuces, and I haven't looked back since April. And I'm excited about it. I'm really enjoying it, and I'll be on the road show. So you're not done with me yet. I'll be on season 2.
That's incredible. That's awesome to hear. And what was it like meeting Johnny? Because he's near and dear to my heart. So what was he like?
I love Johnny. I really admire him. I think about what was I like when I was 20 and 21. I mean, he's got himself together, and just oh gosh, I'm just so proud of him. 20 when I met him because it was just right before his birthday. Now he's 21. I mean, he's a stand-up type of guy. I mean, he's killing it in this game right now. He's a great husband. He loves his wife. I mean, you cannot really ask for more than that. He's so mature beyond his age. I swear, he's going to be like enormous. Okay, this I can't even imagine where he's going to be at like this time next year. I'm very proud of her. I'm really, really, really proud of
Well, I'm
Johnny.
going to make sure he's a millionaire because I've got a vested interest in that kid. So
Look, I
he's
should have signed
awesome.
him up. I should have signed him up on a contract or something.
He's awesome. Just being able to duplicate my skills and him at a tenth
Yeah.
of the level and see what he's doing, like it's inspiring for other people. I'm sure
Yeah.
100%.
He's a
So
sponge. He really is a sponge.
oh, he is. He's a great kid.
Mhm.
And so you're focused on health insurance. I know we were talking before this started.
Mhm.
So how long have you been doing health insurance?
So honestly, I've been in the health insurance, well, I just even say the health industry for like the last 6 years. So I worked in corporate America in a huge name insurance company and medical provider. So I had a lot of firsthand experience working in administration with patients about their policies, their plan, their billing, just a lot of people with financial issues, helping them with resources, community resources to help them with their healthcare. So it just automatically comes kind of second nature to me. So that kind of threw me off. When we are just only selling life insurance, I'm like, okay, I mean, you have to make it fair, but I really, I was kind of new to that part of it. I used really more health as my leads or my warm market, and then really kind of advise them, see where they have gaps at, and then use that to kind of see where we can plug in some other products that can help fill in those gaps. So definitely let's start with getting you some health insurance if you haven't had it or you need it, depending on what the situation is. Some people just went without it for so long, I guess they couldn't afford it. A lot of job changes and things. So I do mostly work with people on the ACA, the health marketplace, and then after I get them a really good affordable plan, then now we can talk life insurance because you need that too if you don't have it, or maybe you don't have it outside of your job. So I really don't even put myself as selling. I just really am an advisor, and then by the time we just chopped it up, they don't even realize, like, dang, I didn't even think it cost that much. I mean, and you really helped me. So I get a lot of referrals from that.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
And how hard of like since you brought up like the transition between selling health into life on the Ultimate Agent, how hard of a transition was that? Like switching, like did you use different scripts and different tell me about that.
It's definitely a different approach, especially like I said, I had a lot of warm market leads. It was a lot of referrals. So I mean, to have to go out and really doing door knocking and responding to mail leads, a lot of telesales. I mean, it was just, but I think it wasn't that it was just too hard. I think we just had like a very short period of time, and it was just everything was accelerated. So I mean, if I was just kind of maybe focusing on that before I went, but we had no idea what we were going to really be doing. So, I mean, it's no way you could really tell. But honestly, it was a really a good pivot for me because that actually, some of those things I learned on the show helps me now, especially like when I am following up on leads. I do use some of those same scripts. Hey, excuse me, I'm not a telemarketer. Please don't hang up on me. I'm following up on your response to something that you turned in. Basically, I'm letting you know that this is important because you filled it out. So I kind of use that to kind of flip the script when I am talking to people that I've never met before. So I mean, it's helped me. It really does. It's something that I still really use a lot.
That's awesome. And tell me more about your dream for like the long term and your career with health insurance. What are you really looking to do? Because I think it was a great idea.
Oh yeah. So I really feel like, health and Medicare, that all goes the same, it all goes together. It's one and the same for me anyway. And I know there's a lot of agents out there that just usually focus on, just either life or just health or just Medicare. And I'm pretty sure that works. I mean, I know it works because there's some people who are being really, successful doing that. But for me, I really want to be like an overall resource for anyone that I meet. And so, it just didn't set well with me where, I can say, well, I can help you with this product and I can help you with that product, but then I'm gonna have to refer you to somebody else for something else. Only thing I really want to refer you to is something that I don't have a license for, like PNC or something. you know. So I'm not trying to do it from a greedy space, but more from a space of I really want to be able to be a one-stop shop help for anyone. And it really helped me with some of my ACA clients that I have now on the health marketplace that are in that almost Medicare age. They started asking me questions about it. I'm like, I don't know. So you know what? It made me want to know. So I just got certified. So I got my I got
There you
my
go.
AHIP certification. Thank you. And this is going to be my first AEP. So once we get out of this AEP, October to, I guess, end of December. Some people say you have another one like a little after AEP after that, maybe January. But my dream and what I would like to do going forward in March, well, actually, it's going to be April. I know the date, April 23rd. And I haven't said this out loud yet. So this is going to be like breaking news. Oh my gosh.
Breaking, breaking.
Yeah, it's April 27th, actually. April 27th, 2023. I want to launch my very first womenpreneur networking brunch, but really from the standpoint of what women really need to be able to network. If you're a mom, if you're stay at home, if you're looking to get transition into the insurance industry or some other work from home type platform, you need resources to be able to go out. You want to be surrounded by other like-minded individuals, but then you got your kids or you're stuck in the house. You don't have certain things to help you to get that accomplished. So I'm testing out right now my birthday brunch. It's going to kind of be the basis for the type of networking events that I want to start doing next year. My birthday's coming up next week, September 11th, and I have a link out right now that is for online streaming and also in-person tickets to be able to attend. And the ticket cost is really going to the vendors, but I have on-site childcare that's going to be there, entertainment for the adults. So we have a 360 booth, photo booth, and then it's going to be at a really cool restaurant that has brunch already on Sunday. So you can kind of like bring the family. It's a networking event, but you bring your family and the kids are taken care of and you get to mingle with adults. I think that's important for women. And I think it's going to be important for families because I'm not in the business of breaking up my family so I can go hang out somewhere. And so if we can do everything together and kind of kill two birds with one stone, I feel like everybody will leave a lot more fulfilled. So the kids will be happy, we'll be happy. Mama didn't have to cook. The guys can hang out because I mean, in this case, it's just my birthday. I'm using as the occasion, but next year the vision is really going to be for more women entrepreneur networking events that are like that.
I love that. And can you explain to me, because I know a lot of people's vision in this industry, even health included, is go build the biggest agency and become a millionaire overnight. Like, let's have a party. No, and that doesn't typically, like, can you tell me why you're not interested in building out an agency?
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm really in a season right now of attracting and not chasing. And honestly, I feel like if anyone wants to join my team, of course, they definitely can, reach out to me. And I would love to have someone, come in, and partner with me. And actually, on the Medicare side, I do have one person on my team already. And she actually reached out to me because she saw me on a podcast that I was on somebody else's podcast. And she was like, wow, I thought she was really nice. And she sent me a message and I responded. She's like, I didn't think you were gonna respond. I said, why? I mean, it's not like I'm that busy. Like I'm busy, but I'm not that busy. So we just got to talking, and then we did a dial session together on Zoom. I didn't try to recruit her or anything. She was just like, I just need help, and I just felt like you'd be somebody that seems like you we resonated. She like really was more on the health side than the life side. And so since I got on this AEP, she actually did the contracting with me, and so we're gonna be learning it together.
That's
So
pretty incredible.
yeah, thank
And
you. That's my thing. That's my vision. If other women want to, come along for the ride and be a mom, be a wife, be a business owner, and maybe make full time money, maybe not working full time hours, then yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
okay, but you're just not actively trying to build some huge agency. So,
Yeah, I don't feel like that sounds like too much like a corporate America job for me. I just left for corporate America. I don't want that.
fair enough. So, what do you enjoy doing, Moon? Like, what kind of hobbies do you have? Like, what do you spend a lot of time outside of health insurance doing?
Well, you know what? I have been doing a lot shopping on Amazon. So, but before the pandemic, I did travel more. So I feel like that's something that this opportunity has actually got me back into the swing of doing. So like I said, I'll be traveling on the road show for the season 2. It's going to be 5 cities, and that's coming up in October. I'm going to be traveling to the a Medicare conference that's in right outside of Little Rock in Hot Springs in a couple of weeks. I'm going to Chicago for a conference for an accountability community with Eric Thomas that I was participating in this year. So I feel like I'm getting back out. And I don't know if this is a good time to get back out because it seems like things are going back on again, getting back a little,
Oh, monkeypox.
yeah. So I don't know if this is a good time to be back out, but I have started traveling again and doing more things just outside of being at home. But for the most part, kind of close knit family. We do a lot in our own community. We have a really active community, so take part in just the different events that's going around locally here. But just overall, I just really, I'm just a mom. I'm just a wife. I'm just, a business owner. My husband, we have a trucking company as well. So that keeps me busy. Like, I don't have this, one job anymore. I got all these different hats I'm wearing.
Wearing all the different hats. Yeah. And
Yes.
I think I'm just talking on that monkeypox thing. I think I'm more scared of the Florida man.
But
Florida man wrestles alligator naked, or like Florida man on bath salt bites face. Like Florida man is
I,
nothing to be messed with.
I don't know what is going on, but it seemed like it had loosened up, and then now it seems like it's getting, back maybe a little restrictive. But just I just want to get out and kind of, take advantage of having a little bit more freedom with my time. I really, really feel like that was my main reason why I just really wanted to get out of corporate America. Even though I loved my job, had a job to die for. People probably standing in line right now to get hired at that company, but it just wasn't for me, not long term.
I'd like to talk on that more because how excited were you when you first got that job?
Man, I really was excited to get the job. I thought that I really was going to retire from there. I mean, that was the type of company that it is, and most people don't retire from jobs anymore. So it's almost like once you get your foot in the door, man, you can't, you really just need to stay, and that's how most people who work there think. And nothing against that, but I started really feeling like a little suffocated in my position, because I was, really good at what I did. I got really great compliments, and I got a lot of, great reviews like from my boss and everything. But it's just like I was still in a box, really didn't have a lot of creative freedom. And now it's kind of like I just really don't I can't see myself limiting myself to just anything anymore. And this whatever my heart desires, I'm gonna put 100% into it. But I just don't want to see myself like, only saying that this is the most you can do, or this is only how much you can. And it just killed me. It just really killed me. That my child, she was so bent out of shape when I had to go to work, and I couldn't do certain things. It didn't allow me to participate the way I wanted to with my family.
So what was the major cause in like the belief shift? Because I think this is a pretty cool conversation that we're having right now. Like you, because at the beginning you were all excited, like first day of school, first day of new job, we're getting what we want, right? What caused the belief shift? Because
Well,
what you thought you once wanted is no longer what you want. Like what caused a bigger vision or a belief shift?
honestly, I know for a fact this pandemic has changed a lot for me and women, and that's why I'm really advocating for women right now, because when you think about it in a family unit, even if you're married, I mean, the woman, the wife, mom is usually going to be the one to make a lot of sacrifices, and when in terms of taking care of the children and career choices and things of that nature, depending on how you're set up. But for me, I always felt like, I had an entrepreneur spirit. I always wanted to be my own person in that respect. But, um, you know, just life, was it the right timing? Or maybe, I was just scared to take the leap, or, I would do something real crazy. My husband is kind of like, yeah, you might want to think that over, So I kind of was just waiting kind of for the right time. And I think what really was like the nail in the coffin for me is that I got COVID back in December. My daughter also had it, and she kept getting. They kept closing down schools and getting kicked out of schools. Just no flexibility. And even though she was sick first, I mean, they were still like, "You need to report to work," and I'm like, "Really? I don't think so. I'm not coming in." So that just really kind of put me in that position. Like they forced my hand. A lot of people were in that situation during the pandemic because I worked in healthcare, so I was really what you consider a frontline worker, even though I'm not on the clinical side, but we still had to report. And so it just put me in a situation where it's like it's either them or my family. So who do you think I'm going to choose?
Well, I hope the family.
Exactly. So that's kind of sad because some people really just didn't have that option. They just still had to go to work, because of whatever their circumstances was. And that's the reason for me why I just really felt like I needed to pick an industry, choose something that I knew that I was good at, I enjoyed, that can produce the income that could replace that job. I mean, shoot, I can make more money right now selling one or two policies, even though I made great money now. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't like I was, making minimum wage. But, I can make just as much in a week or two. I mean, in a day or so that I made in a week. So I just feel like money doesn't move me like that. But I mean, you do have options and you have flexibility in this job. You can work as much or as little as you want. You can do pretty much whatever you're comfortable with and still have a good life. And that's all I'm looking for. I don't want to miss my mark on anything that I should be doing, and I don't want to waste my time doing something that I'm not supposed to.
Absolutely. And for those listening, money only solves money problems.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
after you solve all those problems, then you're just left with problems. And if you're not
Mm,
happy with who you are as a person, I promise you, you're going to get everything that you wish for from life just to
yes.
see if you can handle it. Like I hear so many agents, I want to make a $300,000 this year. What I
Right.
don't hear them asking for is the skill to manage that money. And then I
Right.
see them broke next year back at their job.
That is so true. I do believe that since my husband is an entrepreneur, we've had our trucking business for 9 years. I think he at least understands that point of view of being your own boss. So
Oh, I
that
love
does
this.
help. That does help because there's some people who are not in that mindset, and so in a partnership in a marriage that might not work for you. But he's so supportive of me. I just believe that at first, because I kind of just did it. I just had to kind of just jump out there because I know if I would have just kind of started talking it out, then I think I would have just talked myself out of it. You got benefits. Oh, you got this cush job. I mean, whatever you want to say, you can find a reason, not to do something or to do something. But then I started thinking, I'm like, shoot, I got a whole license. I can write my own benefits. I can get my own health insurance, and that's what I did.
And
Okay.
it's tax deductible.
Right. And I'm like, I mean, that's no reason. But for everything that job put me through, I mean, I did learn a lot. I learned a lot that, from a business standpoint, but for everything they put me through, it just wasn't even worth the money. I'd rather have peace of mind. And I love that whole idea about, the money only solves money problems. But I'm really just not chasing money. I'm really, really chasing a vision. And I know that it will come. And, thankfully, we have, other resources. So it's not just this that I'm depending on, but I do feel like it's giving me a little bit of leeway to find my way. So I'm not forced to just do any and everything, to make money.
And I feel bad for the people who do chase money instead of a vision, because you're
Mhm.
chasing after something where the goalpost never ends. Like, how do you know? How do you measure when you get there?
Right, right.
Because what happens when you make that million? What happens when you don't?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know what? I feel like we've made a lot of money in our lifetime. We made a little bit. We started over several times. But one thing for sure, I've never missed a meal. I never been homeless. So I just feel like we figure it out, and that's the one thing that I think that is most important. Like, why you really should just kind of like find something that you're good at and that you love, and then around that build your business. And so that's what I'm saying, if I just follow the advice of everyone else that's in this business, I'd only be selling life insurance. And I do feel like sometimes I am going a different route, and maybe it's the long way to someone else, but to me it feels good, it feels right where I'm supposed to be at. When I talk to my health clients and then we start talking about life insurance and, different things that they need, then I feel more like they know that I'm really coming from a pure place trying to help them. I'm not just trying to sell anything. And a lot of times it's not a one-time close. It might be our second appointment before they really, actually buy something. But the first time was truly a consultation. And they thank me for that. And they send me a lot of people for that. And so I think it's helping me be able to get out and do what I really love, which is grassroots marketing. So, just sitting like in a dialer and calling people all day, like that's definitely not my thing. So I just kind of get out of my community, talk to business owners, talk to people like at daycares, and I'm gonna go to a senior center. Well, it's not really even a senior. It's like they have a lot of over 55 communities where I
Yeah.
live, and they're not nursing homes, but they are very I guess like independent living facilities. And then so I'm going to go there so I can start setting up my Medicare meetings and things of that nature. But I think if you get out where you live and you kind of get to know people where you already are, it's not so hard, and I think it's a lot better than just dialing for me. So I kind of
I'll
make
tell you to do whatever is valuable or meaningful to you. I think that's the reason why a lot of people get burned out of this industry is they borrow someone else's belief and base their whole all the rules for their life around it. So you're
yeah,
doing something that's not even meaningful to you from the start.
that is true.
I'd really love to pick your brain on this thing. How
Okay.
important is it to have a spouse who supports you? And then I'll drive a point home.
I mean, it really is if you have a spouse or if you have a partner. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to go get one that you don't already, that you're just not already not on that same.
Mail order brides are cheap these days.
But I'm just saying, if you already have one, I mean, it really is important because, like I said, for the last 9 years, my husband's been building his business in the trucking business. And that's one of the reasons why I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, because I would get up and do like his invoicing and do the business banking and all that stuff, paying the bills, responding to the emails, all that before I used to go to work. And I used to be at work at 8 o'clock. So I get up at 3 in the morning, do all that stuff, and then get my daughter ready for school. And my husband's already leaving early in the morning because he's a truck driver. And then I'll go to work all day from 8 to 5. Okay. So I feel like, and I had to kind of, put it to him like this. I know it's scary. It seems like we're kind of like, losing income to make a new income. But I promise you, everything that I'm trying to do, I'll be able to replace all of that plus more. But I just need this little bit of time so I can, find my way. And he believed in me, and that's what I really appreciate.
He
I really,
also knows how hard it is to run a business, so he can understand.
yes, it
I think
really,
that's the problem with a lot of people's marriages is one, they
yeah.
have this ideal vision of how they want to live their life before they get together. And
Mm,
then they say, you know what, I'll make a concession and meet this person in the middle. And then
yeah,
both people are unhappy because they're giving up things that were meaningful to them just to make a relationship work that was never supposed to.
Yeah,
So
that is
I
true.
love that you have a marriage like that.
Yeah,
And he understands what it's like to be entrepreneurial.
yeah, but I think that's also why he was a little nervous too, because it's almost like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, if we both, I'm like, that's not even an option. Like, we both don't have a choice. Like, we definitely is gonna make this work. And in my mind, I'm just like, shoot, if it don't work out for me, you could just get you some extra loads. Like,
Oh, but like it goes back to like the quarterback and the cheerleader.
yes, yes,
Like when the game's on the line, the cheerleader doesn't run out in the field and say, "Hey, I need you to come out here where it's safe." No, they're rooting for you.
yeah.
Like
I think when he saw how it started going for me, then I think it made him feel better because he is a little bit more conservative than I am, even though he's an
well, it's
entrepreneur.
just different levels of risk tolerance.
Yes, yes. So, when he saw, I took my daughter, like, I just use this for an example. I took my daughter on a play date and I wrote 6 apps on the play date. And he was like, "Oh, okay, you might be able to do this." So it's like, yeah, I might not do it the way that most people are doing it, but I felt like that was the best of both worlds for me. She needed a play date. The person that wanted to go on the play date, we had talked about, her needs and the gaps before, but she hadn't, really did anything. And I let her know my time is valuable. I really want to go, but I really have to get this work done. So if you want to go ahead and write those applications, then we'll meet you at the roller skating rink. And we did. And that's just how it went.
That's what happened, and that's how it happened. I love it.
Yeah. And guess what? We wrote some we wrote health and life policies, and those were IULs for the whole family, each one of them. And then we covered them on health and dental. So come on now. You should be able to do all of that when you talk to somebody. You should be able to do all of it. That's
Well,
my
that point right there, the underlying message behind what you just said is here's the mistake that I make, and I see so many others very early on is they try to get customers to make sales. I'm
mm,
telling you to create sales to bring in customers.
yes. That is
That's
so
how you build non-transactional relationships.
yeah.
So I love that you said that.
Yeah. I just think be a resource. If you can be a resource,
Yeah.
whatever your expertise is, just be a resource. If you know everything about IULs, then you need to talk to everybody about why IULs are so important. I love the fact that I'm educating people. I really I'll just use this as an example. I met a young lady. We were at like a women's retreat. I went just as a guest and met some really, really phenomenal women. And I'm not gonna say her name, but she's she was getting married, and I was like, I'm just using this experience that I know someone that's not too much older than me. We're probably about the same age, just recently passed away, but they weren't married yet, they were just engaged. And so now I use that scenario to why you should still get life insurance for your fiance even though y'all are not married yet. And
Unfortunately, I've still got life insurance on my ex-fiance, so
that's not unfortunately. I
it's
mean,
not unfortunate, but God forbid something ever happens to her. Like, I hate seeing failed relationships.
yeah.
And obviously, the number one reason for divorce is marriage. But, like, while I can blame her for what she did wrong, I can also blame her for what she did right. It's just
Mhm.
the intention behind it and how effectively you blame. And I think
Yeah.
that's why there is so many unhappy people that are just getting out of relationships or they're stuck in the concession stage where they're saying, I'll give this up even though I don't want to for you and I'll blame you later.
Yeah. But I think
But
what
I
I'm
know the importance of life insurance. So God forbid
exactly,
something happens to
yeah.
her. She's taken care of, and her family doesn't have to worry about some
Mhm.
huge burden. I'll take care of it.
Right. Or not only that, is it something that you hadn't thought about? And if you're really considering getting married to someone, those are conversations that you really already should be having. And so it just helped, in my opinion, it shined a little bit of light on that situation. And she thought about it and she called me later and we set up an appointment, and we actually got her fiance protected. And that's the great thing, is that I feel like when I'm meeting people, we're just having general conversations about just what's really going on with them, and I'm figuring out where the gap is. And where that gap is, I just kind of like, let well, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just saying that this is available if you really, wanted to consider that. And then I let them figure it out. Like I
It's
said,
psychology. That's why
I,
internal
I,
motivation is 10 times stronger than
yeah,
external.
Yes, I'm definitely not, and I'm not chasing anybody down right now. I promise you. If they want it, they want it. They know how to get in touch with me. I know that sounds crazy, and they're probably like, "Oh, you're probably not doing this, and you're probably not doing that." But hey, I got so many people who do want to work with me. I'm working with the people who want to work with me first.
It's your choice. This is how you want to live your life. And I think that's why there's a lot of unhappy people. They're living by someone else's beliefs or expectations that they fictitiously and arbitrarily made up in their mind about how life is supposed to be lived. And the
Yeah.
moment you don't go with their beliefs, you're the bad guy and you're worried about their opinion on you.
Well, you know what? I really feel like a long time ago, I have been delivered from what people thought a long, long time ago. So that doesn't bother me. It's just that when I
Well,
look,
that's good, but a lot of people do worry about like the opinions of
oh yeah,
others.
especially I think in terms of measuring up. I think when you get a little bit older, a little bit more life experience, that should kind of dwindle down some. I think when you're a little bit more younger and impressionable, that is true. But for me, I feel like even when I take advice or when I've, discussed different things in this industry with different people on their experience, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. Maybe take what they're telling me and then see how that can apply to me. And if it doesn't, I maybe pick out some parts
Yeah,
of it.
shopping cart approach. Put it
Yeah,
back.
because I've had some women that are very successful in this business tell me, pretty much like you're not going to be able to do this, that, and the other with your family for right now. And I'm like, no, not me. That's not what I'm doing. But yeah, thanks for the advice.
No, it's like my 70-year-old grandpa, his ear hair has now grown out so long because he does not care. Like he knows like his time is coming. He does not give a crap. His back hair is longer than the hair on my head, and those like ear whiskers are just coming out, and he's as
I'm done.
happy as all get.
I'm done. So you need to be like your grandpa. Everybody needs to be just like your grandpa.
If they can learn something from that, awesome. I'm just saying, like he does not care what other people think about him.
I love
He'll
that.
wear his Coors Light pajamas out to Walmart. Like you can learn a lot from some of those people. They
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, but I think the older you get, the more you should become sure on who you are and what's good for you, and that's what you stick to. So hopefully that's what most people are doing as they're going through different life experiences. I just know what everything that I've gone through and everything that I've done up until now has led me to this point. So, I came into this a little bit more with different, maybe a different expectation if I can say that.
Yeah, those are just your beliefs on what you want to do that's meaningful to you.
Yes.
If you're seeing support from it, like awesome.
Yeah, I am. And I feel like this is the most free and that this is the most free I've ever been in my adult career. And what I mean by that is free to be who I am, just free, to do exactly what I want to do. And I just still feel like I'm making the most impact that I've ever made. And I really feel like, you know, different phases of my life all have contributed to this, but this is where I'm really truly fully walking in what that is that I know that I'm supposed to be doing.
No, I love that. Well, Moon, I'll be respectful of your time.
Oh,
If you could give one piece of advice to agents out there in general, entrepreneurs, whatever, like whoever's listening to this,
okay.
what would you tell them?
Just follow your heart. I would just say do whatever it is that makes you happy, because at the end of the day, like you said, you can't follow what everyone else wants you to do. It's just too stressful. It's too much pressure. Just be the best you that you can be. Nobody can beat you at being you, even if you're doing the same exact thing as someone else. Like, you are your own person for a reason. So I think you should just do you. Be happy with who you are, and people are going to just love you for that. And I think that's my one piece of advice. Just be who you are, kind of master that.
No, I love that. Well, Moon, thank you so much for coming on here. If someone wants to reach out to you or work with you, come sell some health insurance or
Yep.
advise and consult, should I
Yeah.
say, where can they reach out to you at?
Well, I mean, right now, all my different links are on my link tree. So you can go to the link tree, and it's just Moon Thomas. That's at the end, Moon Thomas all together. Or you could just find me on Facebook and request me as a friend or send me a message in my DM. It's just Moon Thomas. And I actually have a podcast as well for women entrepreneurs. It's called Pipe Dreams and Pearls podcast. So you can look that up as well. I'm always looking for, exciting women that I could interview on that. And, I'm on social media everywhere. You should be able to find me.
Look it up, people. Ain't that hard. But you
Yes.
guys leave a comment for Moon. Just let me
Uh,
know your favorite part. I'm sure she'd be happy to go through there and see if she helped touch any of you guys. But
oh,
Moon, thank you again for coming on here. You are an absolute bombshell. I
thank you.
love your energy. It's like a 12 out of 10. Uh, I look forward to connecting with you more in the future, girl.
Yeah,
So
appreciate that.
best
Thank
of luck in your endeavors, and I'm extremely happy for you.
you too. And I appreciate you having me on. You guys
Hey,
have a
no problem. All right, guys, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe if you found value in this, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.